everybody. Just going to look at some knives, mostly K-bars. I've got a Puma here I want to talk about for a second. But I picked up a new K-bar and wanted to just talk about the other K-bars I own and then discuss why I bought the new one. I've had this short K-bar for several years, maybe 10, 8, something like that. I wanted a knife that was a little smaller in form factor for getting in and out of a vehicle without getting hung up on some things and on and off some other equipment. So I ended up picking this knife up. Nice knife. It's a K-bar in 1095 Crovan. Same thickness blade as the USMC Fighter, 0.165 inches, I think. It's just shrunken down by about 3/4 or 2/3 or something like that. Leather grip, powdered metal pommel. So it's been a good knife. This gets criticized on the forums and on some videos. The handle is a little bit small for some people. I don't have the largest hands. So for me, I can get a full grip. But it is a little bit narrowed, especially when compared to the full-size K-bar. But a complaint is that it makes it a little harder to hold in your hand and work with. And that may be true for some people. It works okay with my hands. I do agree, though, a larger handle of a knife does, I think, increase comfort. But being that this is an older design, of course, the K-bar USMC fighting knife, that's a World War II design, but this knife, too, has been out for many years. Years ago, the big, thick handles weren't of necessity as they are today. I think the design attributes today are for larger, thicker grips. And like I said, that's a good thing. That's not a criticism. But on knives such as the Ontario RTAC or the Rat series or some other knives by Tops and so forth, the trend today in design is to have a thicker handle. But just for comparison, I have an old Puma Hunter. This was a relative's knife that was given to me before he passed away. This knife is probably from an Army PX, late 50s, early 60s, made in Germany. It's seen a lot of use. I keep it retired for the most part. It is nice to take on a hunt every now and again. But German steel, I'm not sure of the steel type. Can't remember whether it's a Krupp steel or exactly what the steel spec is. Brass handguard, bone or stag handle, and as you can see, the handle on this isn't very big either. Now, this is not a real large hunting knife. It's about a 4-inch blade, 4.5-inch blade. So it's not a huge hunting knife, but the design trend today would likely be to have a larger, thicker handle to make using the knife a little easier. But this is just an old design, just for comparison, a little bit talking about how knife handles have changed. Now, the other K-bar I have, this was a gift from a friend. I don't think they're making this K-bar in this color craton handle any longer. Feel dark earth. Has serrations. I'm not a big fan of serrations. K-bars are also a little odd, but they do work. But it was a gift, and I appreciate the gift. And it was a great knife. Once again, 1095 Crovan. It's a tank of a knife. Classic design, clip point blade with a little bit of an upgrade that you don't have to worry about your leather handles disintegrating in some wet environment. The sheath that came with, leather sheaths are nice. Had no problems with this sheath. But the nice thing about a composite or plastic sheath, do a lot more with it. This has all sorts of attachment points. It's got a little drainage hole. So secure attachment. When the knife fits in, it's got retention. So good sheath, good knife. But I like lanyards, and I have one on this one, and I just have it wrapped around the handle, which is sort of a pain. There's no real retention for it, and I could probably do something with that or do a little better job with a lanyard, but this works. But the knife I picked up is a model 1317. It's the dog's head model. Let me get this out of the way. And the dog's head model has a couple of differences on the design. The handguard isn't as tall on the top as, try and get both of these together without slicing a finger off, as on the USMC style fighting knife. And if you want to have a little more control with the knife, you can come over with your thumb a little bit easier. You can reverse grip, and it's a little bit more comfortable that way. The other aspect of the knife is the pommel's different, and it has a lanyard hole. And what's neat about that type of lanyard hole, you can do it with other lanyard holes as well, but with it being like this, is that not only can I have a lanyard to keep it around my wrist, you can also bring a lanyard up and around and actually have it come across your hands. So it has the dog's head emblem here towards the hilt, towards the guard. K-bar, only in New York. Of course, all of these style K-bars are made in USA, in New York. The sheath, leather sheath. I haven't done anything with this. Because I own too many saddles, I have a lot of saddle oil around, so I'll go ahead and put a good coat of oil on the sheath to help protect it. It also has the dog's head logo on it. Something a little different. The sheath is made in Mexico, sewn and riveted construction. Typical sheath that they've been producing for years and years. As I said, the sheath is made in Mexico. With everything that has been said about trade of recently, I'm not going to go there, except just to say, okay, I think in Mexico they do fine work with leather, and the knife is USA made. So, hey, maybe this is an example of good trade policy. I have no idea. Anyway, just a quick look at a knife I picked up. I am ashamed to say I don't have a USMC fighting knife. I need to fix myself, and I will do that one of these days. I think having a USMC fighting knife is sort of like having a 1911 handgun. It's a classic design. There's better designs out there made out of a good steel, but you know, there's miracle steels out there. So it may no longer be the greatest knife for all things, but it is a classic knife. So for right now, though, I'm going to work with this dog's head, and over the next few weeks, I'll try and post a few videos with different things I'll be doing with it. Thanks for watching, and always remember to check your six.